Today on CJ Off-Road, I'm going to go over my top 3 Jeeps that I've personally owned. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one. So over the past few years, I have owned 8 Jeep vehicles. Now there are a bunch of those that have been in the fleet, they've been removed, they've been traded, swapped, and moved all over the place. I currently own a 2020 Jeep Gladiator as well as a brand new vehicle that I just bought to build as a project. It's not brand new, but it's brand new to me. Now in this video, I wanted to go over my top 3 Jeeps and why I like those Jeeps. There's a lot of vehicles that I have owned personally. I've never owned another vehicle besides a Jeep. I bought a couple that I just bought and flipped, some Ford vans and some other dirt bikes and Enduros and stuff, but I've never personally owned and used as a daily driver besides a Jeep Wrangler. I do own a Cherokee as well, but most of them have been the Wrangler vehicles. And my number 3 is going to be a 97 Jeep Wrangler TJ. Now this one I bought just at the end of my high school period, and I drove it pretty much all the way through college. It was a great vehicle for me. It was olive drab. I did a ton of work to it, including ARB lockers, diff covers, lift, wheels, tires, anything you can think of, I put on that Jeep. And the biggest thing for me with that Jeep is I really had a chance to fabricate and build a lot of things on my own. I remember in high school, I actually fabbed up most of the tire carrier and the front and rear bumpers on it, and really got a chance to build this Jeep up. And I don't really care that it was a mall crawler or just a show and shine beauty. It was a pretty beat up Jeep, but I enjoyed the heck out of it. I got to take that Jeep to a lot of cool places, really see and meet a lot of people with it, and it's what helped me get into the Jeep community. It wasn't my first Jeep, but it was definitely the one that I modified the most, and helped me meet a lot of people that I would now know and call friends in the industry, and helped me move on with my career. The best thing about it is that it was an old TJ, so it really didn't matter if I would get it beat up, bumped up, bruised up on the trail, it could take it and keep going. The worst thing about it is that it was a 4-cylinder, and anyone that knows having a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder in a TJ, they don't move too fast, or pretty much at all. I mean, it had a 2.5 with 35-inch tires on it. It was re-geared, but it really wasn't quick. I was barely using 5th gear. And honestly, guys, it was a commuter back and forth to college. I wasn't making crazy long road trips. I would take it to the beach, but besides that, it was just fun. I'd take the top off. I didn't care if it got rained on. I didn't care if it got muddy inside. And honestly, it was just a blast to own. It had half doors, it was repainted. It was a great time in the Jeeping community. And honestly, it's what helped me progress through what I have now. Now, I would say that my number 2 Wrangler, not in chronological order, would be the 2018 JL Hemi. I love that Jeep, and primarily I love the way that it looked and performed. Now that thing looked absolutely killer with some help from Jordan wrapping it and really getting everything tuned into that color scheme. That was the first time I really got a Jeep to almost look like, I would say, like a SEMA build or a really professional build. It had the wrap, it had the color matched options, and it just looked super clean. The biggest compliment I got on that was the ride quality of it. Even my dad riding passenger with me, that other Terraflex, Falcon 3.3s on there with their ST3 lift kit, and it literally drove like a Cadillac. He'd driven it a few times back and forth while following me in other Jeeps or other shows going to, and he would say that there was not really any other vehicle on the road, even brand new trucks, that compared to the way that that Jeep rode. I gotta say, I was incredibly impressed, and that one I was not hard pressed to take a very long road trip, take it all the way down to Daytona, and really enjoy the heck out of it. And I had some great memories and great times in that Jeep. I also had some bad memories in that, but that led to a lot of more good memories, so those definitely outweigh that. Overall, guys, though, I did get rid of that one. There was a lot of things to consider when I got rid of it. The biggest thing for me was the type of off-roading that I was gonna do. I was doing a lot more overlanding compared to the rock crawling, and that is something that I phased through. So my number 1 most missed Jeep Wrangler is my 2012 JK Wrangler. Now I gotta tell you guys, that one was an absolute monster by the time that I had sold it into an off-roading and rock crawling machine. It was a 2-door, and it just had every modification done to it, less coilovers and a Hemi or a V8 swap into it. That would have been the only 2 things that I would have done past the point that I had it. But this Wrangler had gotten me through college, and it was very well liked by pretty much everyone I showed it. It was a 2-door, it was white, that was the color of my original Wrangler, so it held a lot of close spots in my heart there, but overall it was built to the T. This thing, when I tell you guys there wasn't a dollar or an ounce of time spared on this thing, I cannot tell you more how that was. It was fully equipped with brand new axles. It had a Rubicon Express 4.5-inch long arm kit. It had 40-inch tires, bead locks, even manufacturing front bumper, worn winch, ripped supercharger, rigid lights, Corbos. Anything you can think of that you could have done to your Jeep was done to this one. I mean, this thing was built like a tank and I could still drive it down the highway at 80 miles an hour and not fret one bit. I upgraded the interior. It had a nice 6-speed manual in it. All the stereo, everything like that was upgraded as well. But overall, guys, I really miss that Jeep the most. It had the most time, probably the most money of a lot of these Jeeps too that I've had into it. And just the level of quality of parts and everything that we put into it to get it to that point and all that I've been through with that Jeep, it's definitely my most missed Jeep Wrangler. I definitely regret selling it. It was completely paid off when I sold it, and it hurt putting it back closer to stock to sell it, taking off most of the parts and selling them. Considering all the time and effort and labor that we personally put in here, I wish I could get that one back. However, I do have a brand new project here coming up, and that's gonna be something that you guys are gonna have to stay tuned to. We'll show you a short picture right here of it, but definitely stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna reveal the new project and go over all the specs and really get the lowdown on why I bought it and what some of my plans are if I wanna do anything to it. So I know that sounds weird in the Jeep community, but we'll see if we decide to modify that one. But overall, guys, what I wanna know now is, what was your favorite Jeep Wrangler? What was almost your favorite off-road vehicle? You know, I know a lot of you guys have owned a ton of them, or you're just starting on your first one, but let me know in the comments below what your favorite Jeep or off-road vehicle was, if you still have it, or why you don't and why you regret selling it. I love to read those stories. I'm actually a sucker for those on Facebook. When I see the old 1970s Polaroid with, a little kid, and the older person is now in their 50s or 60s that said, hey, I really regret selling this. I went through with my kids. We really enjoyed a lot of memories. But overall, guys, those memories are always gonna be right here with you. So the moment you move on to a new Jeep or a new off-road vehicle, you've still got those great memories, and that's the reason you're still in the community now. But I wanna see those pictures. I wanna see all your comments below of your favorite off-road vehicles, or maybe one that you're looking to get soon if you don't own one now. Drop a comment below, guys. I would love to read it. Now, until next time, definitely like and subscribe to this, and let me know if you'd like to see any other videos on maybe some of my older Jeeps, or get some advice from me about any of the other Jeeps that I've owned. Like I said before, I've owned 8 of them, so if you have any questions, shoot them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer it. Until next time, guys, make sure you're staying safe, staying home, and I'll see you out on the trails.